Okay, I picked up the current version of the Rickard's Taster's Pack tonight. I've said some nice things about Rickard's before in previous reviews. I've compared other beers to them. That might be a little bit misleading. Rickard's is made by Molson, and if you know who Molson are, it's essentially the big major macro brewery in Canada. And what I mean by macro is, as opposed to a microbrewery, a macro brewery mass produces cheap beer that doesn't have quite the character or taste as something you'd have in a microbrewery. It's more, beer for the masses to commercially sell quickly, to be drunk cold, to be nice and refreshing, but not to really have much taste. Okay, so Rickard's is essentially Molson's microbrewery, craft brewery attempt. Okay, so here we have Rickard's Red. Okay, it's 5.2% alcohol. I'll put it in my Rickard's Red glass. Okay, nice head. Doesn't last too long though, but it's nice and foamy. At least it looks nice. It's a dark brown reddish color. Okay, I'll take a sniff right now. Yeah, there's not much typical of a macro brewery. You're not going to get much for the aroma in beers. Okay, there is sort of an overwhelming metallic smell, the sort of chemical smell you're used to with big beers. There is some sweetness in there, little hints, and a bit of nuttiness, but it's nothing exceptionally pronounced. Okay, just sort of smells like beer. Okay, so I'm going to take a taste now. By the way, I'm drinking these at room temperature, so I can at least get any flavors present in my mouth instead of just drinking something really cold, so I won't be able to taste anything. Okay, so it's okay. It's a decent red ale, but it becomes pretty clear that it's a macro brewery's version of a red ale. Okay. There's some caramel in there, hints of it, a bit of grainy taste, but it's nothing. It's actually quite bland. I do like it though. Quite frankly, if you're not familiar with microbreweries at all, Rickard's is a good introduction. It's a good way to get yourself in. Slightly introduced to the idea of it, the styles. It's nothing that's gonna blow your taste buds away. Maybe if you've been drinking macro beers for your entire life, this might be quite a different change for you. But and you might think it's quite tasty. But for me, and for anyone who's drank a lot of different kinds of beers, you'd probably want to pass. I pick up Rickard's. I like it. Okay, it's that and Alexander Keith's I tend to pick up over any other macro beers. It's slightly higher in price, but it's generally worth it. You can get a lot of beer still for a reasonable price, and at least you're going to get a little bit of taste to it. So Rickard's Red anyway, I'd give it about a 2.5 out of 5, leaning towards 3. It's a slight recommendation, I guess. You could do a lot worse.